So, this is the treasure chest. It's a ridiculous name, I know. However, what I wanted to show was where this is all been and everything. So, it's not just comic books. I have a lot of different things in here, and I wanted to kind of come in here and share this. I have a lot of old Dungeons and Dragons memorabilia and stuff from when I was a kid, and all of the different ones here. This is the Isle of Dread, Sinister Secret of the Salt Marsh, Castle Amber, The Secret of Bone Hill, Descent in the Depths of the Earth. It's the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, The Lost City, The Keep of the Borderlands. There's a magazine called Dragon, and Dragon magazine would have all kinds of stuff in it. Some of the original boards and dice and even adventures and everything in here. I just really liked the cover art at the time because I was really into doing art, as you can imagine. A great cover. I love this one. Here is the Dungeons & Dragons Basic Rules Fantasy Adventure Game Basic Rulebook. There we go. And as you can see, heavily used. I think there's a basic rulebook and an expert's rulebook in here. If we had split them out and had them in there. As well as the monster manual in here, which I think is pretty fun to take a look at. If that's something you want to have me flip through, just let me know in the comments. And as we get in here, there was a magazine that was the beginning of Epic Comic Books, a line of Marvel comic books that started some of the Prestige eras from 1981. So these were very adult-oriented. You know, they have nudity and language and everything in here, but definitely some interesting covers. And one of the things that first got me into comic books were these two. Origins of Marvel Comics by Stan Lee. Copyright 1974. It's got the very first Fantastic Four, the very first Spider-Man, the very first all kinds of stuff. So it collects the very first and second issues of some of these. And the other one, Bring on the Bad Guys. So this is the first appearance of all of these bad characters here. Red Skull, Green Goblin, of course Dr. Doom. And then Son of Origins by Stan Lee again. And this one has the first X-Men, first Avengers, Daredevil, and all that. So again, I will go and flip through these a little bit later in the series here. If you guys are interested, let me know. And we can take you through some of the origin stories. Now, this has a lot of magazines in it that are referencing comic book collecting and comic books and stuff, or some of my favorite bands, or what have you, Rolling Stone, Newsweek. So this area here is not really dedicated a whole lot to comic books, but it does have some of the things I really enjoy here. These are a couple things I did early on. For example, when I was in high school, from 85 to 86, we every year we produced at the school a series of artwork books, but also with poems and stuff like that. And I was asked as one of two artists to do illustrations here. They're not great, to be honest with you. I did not know what I was doing at the time, but it's definitely fun to take a look at there. Remember what your past, some old, speaking of Halloween, Haunted Mansion Halloween in 2003 with the whole map. I love the Disneyland maps here. I can pull that stuff out a little later. Here's the Bloom County 1991 swimsuit calendar. Far Side calendar. Let's see here. And then we've got a couple things. Oh, this is before we knew anything about. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I had this. This is a poster newspaper. Holy cow. that folds out that is all about Batman and Robin. Now, granted, Batman and Robin is a stinker of a movie, but, you know, some pretty cool stuff here. So I'm going to have to pull that out and take a look at that. State of the Union coins, more Far Side, a different year. Another Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I believe this is the Dungeon Master screen and a whole bunch of other stuff that we are doing. The World of Greyhawk Gazetteer. Alright, some drawing stuff. I'm actually in here looking for a poster, so one of the reasons I wanted to get in here is, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but this may be it. It is. This will be framed and hung on my wall with some other stuff I'm going to be showing soon, which is the giant Alien Legion poster. It has been folded, so it will look a little folded, but I do want that one to be posted up, and I'll show that when it's framed on the channel. Oh, that's right, I saw it in excess. Now we get at some comic books over here. A little bit more recent comic books. Here's Batman Year One by Frank Miller. I'm going to get this one actually framed and out there. So this should be in pretty good shape, but we'll have to see how that's looking once I get upstairs and take a look at some stuff. This one was from a friend of mine, Rupert. It is a cute little book of stories that were done in England. And I believe there are newspaper stories that were collected in this book. One of my mom's friends lived in England. They came over and they gave this book to me as a gift. And I've loved this ever since. I'm assuming it's not worth anything, but it's just a beautifully drawn children's book of stories. And I absolutely adore this. So this has two different levels in it. First has, actually 3 different levels. So it has this level. And then inside here, there's a whole nother level. Now, this is where we start getting into the comic books. Now, I have a lot of newspapers from when the very first Batman was released, a whole article on that, which was a monumental moment in my life. I think there's lots of stories there that I can share. Then we get into a whole bunch of comic books here. I'll go ahead and lift this up. This is a little tricky and very heavy. Go. And underneath, the entire bottom is filled with comic books that have been kept in here for the past 30 years. So I will be going through all these comic books. I don't know what you can see on the camera, but I will be going through all of these comic books and showing the collection and showing, talking about them. And so and I'll also be cataloging them on online, so I know exactly what issues I have and everything. But yeah, a ton of comic books here for your enjoyment, if that's something you're into. There's actually a bar in here, so it actually doesn't set on top of the comic books, it sets on the bars on the sides. But got a lot of work going on here. If you're one of my students, one of the things I'm going to do is I've already taken pictures of the entire chest here, and I do want to build this as a really cool 3D model because it's got some great detail and some great life to it. Anyway, that is when I refer to the comic book treasure chest. It's literally a chest that I have that contains all of my history of comic books and things that I love in the art world. Thanks for watching. I'll be posting more next week.